I'm currently wedged in between two piles of books. Hi guys, it's Anna and today is a really exciting video because I'm going to be showing you guys all the books that I read during 2021, and I can just say it was a great reading year, so you guys are in for a treat. I just wish I could give you guys like a hug, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for all your support in subscribing in my endeavor to become a booktube and writertube channel. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, it does mean the whole world. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and show you all of the books I read during 2021. Okay, so as you can see, I have my beautiful piles just right here, and I'm just going to go through them in no particular order, but I am going to include their ratings. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the first book. Alrighty, so first up, I read the trilogy of the Shadow and Bone series, and I love this series so much. I gave the first book 4 stars, the second book 3 stars, and the third book 4 stars. But I definitely did enjoy this series and definitely recommend it for those who want to read it. Next, I read the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I actually haven't read the Harry Potter series, so it was really cool reading the first book, and I gave this 4 stars. Next up, I read Mr. Cadmus, and this was a very interesting book. I can't really remember what it's like, but it was definitely a little bit messed up, but I gave this 3 stars. Next up, I actually got into manga, and a video might be coming soon of me reading manga for the first time, and I adored it. I love anime, so this was awesome to read. Firstly, I read Snow White with the Red Hair, and I gave this 5 stars. I think I just loved it. And I also read Ouran High School Host Club, and I adored it so much, 5 stars. I read A Deadly Education, and this was a beautiful book, very dark academia vibes. It was pretty cool. I gave this one 4 stars. I also read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and this was pretty good. I did enjoy it, but I only gave it, I think, 3 stars. I read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I love it. I gave this one 4 stars. I'm currently making my way through the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, so this was the second book in the series. For Hollow City, I gave it 3 stars. I read my favorite book on the entire planet, and that is Pure an Essay by Susanna Clarke. Oh my freaking gosh, if you're gonna take anything away from this video, read this freaking book. I gave this 500 million stars. Next up, I read the Mortal Instruments series. I still have the last one to go, but I definitely will read that hopefully by the end of the year or next year. I love Cassandra Clare, her world is beautiful, but for these books, I think on average I gave it around 3.5 stars. I read Over Newton, and this is a awesome book. Isabel Cardamone is a beautiful author. I gave this one 500 stars. It's beautiful, freaking read it. Literally one of my favorite books, definitely this year. I read We Were Liars, and this was a really interesting read. I'm not sure what I thought about it. I think I gave it 2.5 stars, maybe rounded up to 3, so yeah. Next up, I read the Falcon in the Air series by Holly Black, and this was a beautiful series. I definitely did love it. However, for the first book, I didn't really vibe with it. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting. I thought I would love it more, but I'm so glad that the series picked up after this first book. So for The Cruel Prince, I only gave it 3 stars. The Wicked King was awesome. I gave this one 5 stars. But for The Queen of Nothing, I think I gave it only 4 stars because at the end with the whole snake thing, what the heck was that? I read The Other Side of the Sky, and this one I pretty much hated quite a lot. It was so hard to get through this one, so I only gave it 1 or 2 stars. 2 stars, let's just say 2 stars. I don't want to be mean, so. Next up, I read the Hunger Games series, and oh my gosh, I am broken. I am broken. I definitely can't believe that I haven't read this series until now. I definitely enjoy the dystopian. It definitely was a refresher since I read a lot of fantasy, but dystopian definitely isn't something I would always read. But for the Hunger Games, I absolutely adored it. 5 stars. Mockingjay, I gave 4 stars. It definitely wasn't as good. I definitely think I could have just stopped reading after the Hunger Games, but I loved Peter too much, so I read this one. And this book, this freaking book, oh my gosh, I want to throw it across the room. I'm pretty sure I did. Hopefully it's not damaged. But I gave this only 4 stars, I think, because it was just so depressing. Just no. Still a good book though. Next, I read the Aurora cycle, and oh my gosh, I'm in love with sci-fi. I know that these authors might be problematic and they've said things that weren't really good. Apparently, I don't really get into the whole book Twitter thing, but however, the story was beautiful. I'm in love with the characters. I think the storyline was really fun, really funny, and just an extremely good read all around, so I gave this one 5 stars. I loved it. Aurora Burning, I was so surprised that the second book could be better than the first book. I adore this one so much. Cal is my baby, if you haven't seen. I love Cal with all of my heart. So I obviously gave this one 5 stars as well. Next up, I read 2 of the what am I saying? Throne of Glass, what? I read the, what's it called? Something about thorns. No, Last Hours. Oh my gosh, I got it. It just clicked right then. I read the Last Hours series. There is the third book to come. I'm so freaking excited for it. As you can see, this one got a few tabs. So Chain of Gold was definitely a little bit of a disappointment. However, I don't know why. I was just expecting it to be a lot more plot driven, because I know that Cassandra Clare has definitely improved her writing and her plot developing from Mortal Instruments to Infernal Devices, but I can definitely say that Infernal Devices is still top tier to this one. It's just logic, okay? I definitely was a little bit disappointed, yeah, because it was so character driven and basically nothing was happening in the plot. So I think I only gave this one 3 stars, but if I read it again, I'm pretty sure I'll bump it up to 4 stars. Yeah, I guess just learning more about the characters and the plot definitely helped a lot. So for that reason, I gave Chain of Iron 4 stars. I'm in love with Matthew. Matthew's my baby. I ship Cordelia and Matthew so hard. Oh my gosh. Anyways, yes, this is breaking my heart, definitely. I understand why people are so hungover over this book. I understand you. Books that I don't physically have, I read If Cats Disappeared from the World. This was a beautiful book. I'm pretty sure I cried a few times. Definitely, but I did give it, I think, 4 stars. It's a beautiful book if you want to cry. It's really sad, but yeah. I also read none other than The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I understand the hype. I understand the hype. It was a beautiful book. I gave it 5 stars. And I'm not sure if this counts, but I read Macbeth technically for my school play. I definitely have bad memories from that exam, so I only gave this book 3 stars. So yeah. Also read the Chess Queen Enigma. This definitely was an interesting read. I got this from my sister, just a random book, and I actually really enjoyed it. I gave this one 3 stars. I also read Wildcat Falling, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It's a beautiful book and it's especially sentimental to Australia, so I gave this one 4 stars. I also read Anne of Green Gables, and this was a beautiful freaking book. I loved it. I cried. Why did he have to die? I gave this one 5 stars. It's one of my favorite classics. I definitely love it a lot. I adore it. And as a little bonus, I technically have read most of A Little Life. I'm still like, oh, there goes my bookmark. I'm still like a third of the way through. As you can see, all of my tabs. Can you see all the green ones? The green ones are all the times I've cried. And I can say that during one page, I cried not once, but twice. As all the critics say, I didn't finish the book finished me. And that is it for the video. I don't know if you can see, but my bookshelf, it's messed up. That's what I'm gonna be doing after this. Anyways, that's the video. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful reading year. This year went extremely slow for me because I was working through grade 12, my last year of high school ever, but I was still super surprised at how many books I read in total. And that number is, drum roll please, 35 books. Yay, yay, yay. And it's funny because last year I only read 16 books. I can definitely say that I've improved. Anyways, I hope you guys were able to achieve your goal. If not, that is totally fine. You know, reading is all about your happiness. You know, it doesn't matter how many books you've read, it just matters how much fun you've had reading them. But I hope you guys subscribe for more videos. And yeah, I love you guys with all my heart, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!
Your honey wants to find you.